Okay, double making sure my dad's not coming up right now. Snufkin was making his way back to Moomin Valley on the first day of spring when he was shocked by something utterly bananas bonkers. The trees were all cut down, and sitting on top of the rubble and stumps was an absolutely gigantic mansion. Grrr, that big green himbo has gone too far this time. He tightened his fist and farted ferociously out of anger. Says the Scandinavian booger hobo, echoed an ominous voice from behind. Furious at this slander, Snufkin stomped like an angered bull and turned to look right at him. This has been going on for far too long. Far, far too long. And too many towns and countries have been demolished due to this tall, glorified string bean casserole in a tube of toothpaste. But as the young Mumrick, I don't know, glared at the greasy, tumbler sexy man, Snufkin's eyes turned wide in absolute terror. Holding the Onceler's hand and purring up against him was the Jockster. Dad, what are you doing here? What are you doing with this Susie and cringe lord? Jockster swung around to be more visible to his son and revealed he was donning the Hooters crop top and an orange miniskirt. His cake... His boy loaded with cake. Okay, anyways. His face caked in the classic e-girl makeup, black winged eyeliner, black lipstick, and pink eyeshadow with little black hearts on his cheeks, and his hair brushed into poorly cut bangs. Oh shit. The Onceler had made the Jockster into his catboy himbo waifu. What the did you do to my dad? He screamed and went to strike the Onceler, but he retracted his hand before he could land the hit. What the hell was he doing? This was surely a dream. There is absolutely no way in hell that his dad had become a textbook TikTok catboy himbo waifu. But, however, as he pinched himself, his jaw dropped to the floor as he then knew he was not in fact dreaming, and that this was, in fact, reality. Instead of retorting in any physical form, the Onceler smirked and then chuckled, the e-girl Jockster hanging off of his arm, nyahing and giggling as well. Snufkin then had a brilliant idea. Snufkin slowly stood up straight, his back cracking from years of improper posture and slouching. His arms jutted out to his sides and stood up on the tips of his poorly laced boots as that one last vertebrae cracked. A sonic boom rang out through the entire valley. Onceler and his himbo waifu fell back from the sudden blast of light, the air being knocked right out of them and being unable to be retrieved until everything else calmed and faded back to its normal caliber of light. Everything, all the grass, and even the Moomin house were obliterated. It was now a wasteland of cracked dirt, and not even the Onceler's mansion still stood. You have dictated this planet for far too long, and you have destroyed far too many lives, you capitalistic pee-pee poo-poo head piece of broccoli. He had turned Super Saiyan and was T-posing in the air, levitating, and having his every breath accented by an angelic choir of winged woodies. He flew down and threw as many punches in as fast of a succession as he could muster, beating the schnitzel out of the lanky lime and knocking a few teeth out. The young Mumrick pulled his arm back and, with all the force of an angry 13-year-old going through Starbucks withdrawals while staying at her grandparents' house for the summer because she got caught on TikTok twerking for Austin Jones while her parents sat back at home filing for divorce, delivered a final blow to the white thought that lay before him. The Onceler was mere moments from death, and even the Jockster could tell that Snufkin went too far. He coughed and chuckled on his own blood, staring up at the enraged, muscly man that just whooped him harder than his daddy ever could have. What's so funny, you vitamin D deficient rodeo clown? The adult began to chuckle, fighting against the pain from his broken ribs and bruised muscles. You did all this to stop my destruction. Pause. To protect all that you loved. But in doing that, you destroyed all of Moomin Valley and its inhabitants. With one last breath, he closed his eyes and fucking died. Oh shit. So what do we do now? Snufkin asked. I have no clue. Anyways, record this for my YouTube channel. Jockster stepped onto the Onceler's lifeless body and tossed his phone to Snufkin, who scrambled to catch it and prop it up to record Jockster in portrait mode like a fucking casual. He stood on the Onceler's stomach and put his arms out in front of him, proceeding to floss back and forth, gradually gaining speed and hitting 100 miles per hour with just his arms alone. Eventually, the Jockster flossed so fast that the entire world caught on fire, and everyone turned to dust and died. The end. I'm fucking losing it here. This is my favorite thing. I am so glad to be alive right now. This is the best fan fiction. The best story in all of history. I am done. I am done with this. Goodbye. I'm fucking quitting. Anyway, so I'm gonna be narrating my Stinky X Reader fanfiction next, so